We are back at our equity chats, and today we have Dr. Michelle Rodriguez from Pajaro Valley Unified School District in California. Welcome. Tell us a little bit about your district.
Yeah, thank you. So we are the largest school district in Santa Cruz County. About 50% of the students in the entire county go to my school district. We're a conglomerate of 5 cities. So we are primarily Watsonville and Aptos, but we also are Rio del Mar, Las Lomas, and Pájaro. We have about 20,000 students. We serve very vulnerable students here. So 81% of our students live in poverty. 65% of them are English learners, 14% special ed, and 10% are migrant education students, majority of which live in the Buena Vista camp. So we are one of the school districts that still has a migrant camp within their school district. Our population, we serve 3 primary languages. So we serve Spanish as our primary home language, English, and then Mixteco Bajo. So we have an indigenous population. About 500 of our students speak that language. It's a non-written indigenous language. And so if you go onto our website, you will see in writing 2 languages and in videos 3. We definitely have an equity agenda here, which is going to be linked up to what we're going to be talking about. We believe that we should submit our time and resources and attention, not only to ensuring and advocating for our children, but also for our families. So that's where our equity agenda is a little bit different. We feel that we have to advocate not only for the students, but to have true equity, also their families and the community in which they serve. And so we're proud. We have 2,500 staff members here who every day are really committed to our children and ensuring that we provide not only them being ready for college and career, but also life.
Wow, Dr. Rodriguez, you have every demographic, I think, and you're supporting these students, and equity is very important in the work that you do with the demographics of students that you have. Sure. Wow. So I want to ask you today, how does your district support marginalized students without internet access and or a device?
Sure. So if you look at our contingency plan, our reopening contingency plan, we have 4 guiding principles. One of those guiding principles is to look at system inequities from the onset. So when we started the entire contingency planning, we said, what are things that are important to us? And one was from the very center, everything we do, we will look at the vulnerable and marginalized student population. So within 3 days of closure, we handed out 15,000 Chromebooks. So we were already a one-to-one. Some of our schools were doing a take-home program, but most were not. So this actually helped boost us in that direction. So we handed out 15,000 Chromebooks. We handed out 1,000 hotspots. That was during the springtime. We were one of the first school districts to request the hotspots from the T-Mobile and the CDE partnership. So we requested 3,000 additional hotspots. So to date, we have we decided with the fall that we would provide Chromebooks to also our kindergarten and first grade students. We originally did not. So now we have over 20,000 Chromebooks out to our students, and we have 4,000 hotspots. The other thing that I think, going back to the equity question and believing that it should be at the familial level and the community level, is we also worked with Cruz.io, which is an internet provider. They were able to provide free internet to our parents wired within their home. So as we know, the hotspots are good for certain things. When you're talking about streaming, not as much. And so there's more, it's not as good as home internet. And so we really wanted to work to make sure that we got internet into our families. So we have a large partnership with them. We also included 4 additional towers because the reason why I mentioned how spread out we were was if we have areas in both Aptos, which is more affluent, and is our only portion that's has some influence, but then also our Las Lomas area that has no cell service. So if you have no cell service, then that means you're not able to use those hotspots. So we have put up 4 additional towers, one at the Buena Vista camp that I mentioned, where there was no service whatsoever.
Wow.
We also started with the community foundation. We started a fund where people could donate if they wanted to. So we have people outside the community, inside the community that really wants to support our families. And so families that cannot afford, it's on a sliding scale. Some it's free, some it's $9.99 a month. Those that cannot afford the $9.99 a month, they can actually petition for a support, and they do it through the foundation. The other thing that I think is really important is for students that are non-participating, that for some reason we cannot give them internet, we have a location that's called Safe Spaces. So we have 5 different locations throughout the district. It's manned by a district administration, by our campus supervisors, and by our instructional assistants. The students are able to come there in a very safe location. We make sure that we social distance and everything, and do their synchronous learning at those locations. We provide them breakfast, lunch, and a snack as well. And so we believe that every single child in the school district has access. And just like I said at the town hall last week, if there's a parent out there that doesn't, we encourage them to reach out. We are monitoring all of our students to make sure that they are. We have a 3-tiered process on that. Because we know that the most vulnerable students may not be the ones that have parents reaching out, right? And so we want to make sure that it's incumbent on us, and it's our commitment that we're tracking each and every student to make sure that they're participating. And if they're not, then we're taking away those obstacles for them and helping them to succeed.
Wow. So I know you talked a lot about hotspots. You talked a lot about devices that you've had to roll out. I know in the back of your mind, Dr. Rodriguez, you're trying to figure out sustainability. So what does sustainability look like moving forward with all of these devices out in your district?
So we already had a commitment to do a one-on-one. So within our budget, we already have a refresh budget that is happening. Of course, the hotspots, there are going to become a cost. And so we're just folding that into the LCAP funding. But I think for us, we know, and we've actually wanted, I've been here 4 years now, we've wanted us to have the 24/7 learning. So I think having the Chromebooks in their hands, we're not planning on bringing them back, the Chromebooks back. We're planning on allowing them to have that. If I may, there's one piece I forgot when we were talking about access and closing of the digital divide. So now we have the devices, we have the internet, but you have parents and community that don't know how to function those systems, right? How to do it. So I just wanted to mention really quick, we have had since the beginning a hotline for our teachers, our families, and our students. So if you combine all of those, if you can believe it, we've had over 10,000 calls between all those within the last 6 months. And so it's manned by a team of 10 of us in 3 languages, again, English, Spanish, and Mixteco Bajo. We also have a drive-through where, let's say they call the line, they're trying to help walk them through step-by-step how to do that. They're not able to do that. So we have a drive-through where they're able to literally drive up in their car, hand the Chromebook to one of our technicians. It's 3 days a week, say, this is what's not working. They fix it right there, or they exchange it. And so we've had over 1,000 people go through our drive-through at this point as well. Always, if you are one of our parents, then on our website under the parent tab is in English and Spanish, and many times Mixteco Bajo, videos of how to do everything that we need our parents to be able to do.
Wow. So you talked a little bit about, well, a lot about supporting the most marginalized students in your district. I know a lot of districts were trying to figure out how do we get the message out to them, because most of them had no internet access at all at their home. So how did you interact and get the message to those families?
Sure. So we call it the partner ecosystem, but we've been focusing on this for a while, just on other initiatives of where do you get the parents who don't access you. So we have about 30 of our community member partners that we meet with monthly, and we talked about how do we get that. So we said, where do they go other than education? So one is medical services. So we have Salud para la Gente is where about 50% of our parents go for medical. And so they help us with our messaging. We know that they go to social emotional support. So we have an organization called PVPSA and Digital Nest. And so we make sure that all of our information is disseminated out. Also, if you listen to La Preciosa, I'm a Spanish speaking person. And so you will hear me every week on La Preciosa. So we make sure that we do that. We also are, we are very fortunate because KION, KSBW, and Univision carry our stories. And so I'm on there at least twice a week talking about something. So when we were doing our back to school launch kits, which provided access to materials for all 20,000 of our students, I went on the radio, I went on TV and talked about it. So really, if you listen to radio, TV, or you read the newspaper, you are bound to know about what we're doing.
All right. Wow. So that was a lot. Wow. I tip my hat to you. So one of my mantras, and everywhere that I've been in education now for about 14 years, is do right by students, and you are the epitome of that. So thank you once again, Dr. Rodriguez, supporting the students of Pajaro Valley Unified School District, and adios.
Yeah, thank you. Nos vemos.